Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks very much for joining me again for another video. I am super excited about this video today because this is my collaboration with the wonderful Sarah from Sew Sarah Style. I'll pop in all her details below. So I followed Sarah for a while over on Instagram and on YouTube. I love her style, the pieces that she chooses, the way she styles them, the style of her videos. I think she's just wonderful. So when she reached out a while ago to do a collaboration, I said yes. Definitely, let's do it. And then late last year, we rented on the Pogonip pullover. So this is going to be our collaboration where we're going to make one each, and I cannot wait to see what she comes up with. I just love her style, and we're both big fans of green, so I'm just wondering kind of what kind of palette she'll choose. Very, very exciting. But I was just so taken by this pattern. I think it's wonderful, and I'm really, really delighted and honoured to be doing a collaboration with Sarah. So I'm going to tell you a bit about the pattern now. I'm going to show you the fabric that I have and then talk you through the sizing that I've decided on doing. And then I'm going to go away and I'm going to make it. And I'm going to come back at the end of this video and show you how I got on. So I'm totally doing what Sarah does in her videos because it's just a wonderful way of doing things really, and that you get the entire collaboration in one video. So let's get started. So the Pogonip pullover, as I said, it came out late last year. It's Friday Pattern Company. So it's a wintry piece, it's a pullover, a sweatshirt, whatever you like to call it. The inspiration pictures were done in the most beautiful quilted fabric. Love it. The second I saw it, absolutely gorgeous. It has a big collar, a lovely placket. Then it has welt pockets. It has elastic at the cuffs, elastic at the waist. And then at the back, there's a little panel that is very, very clever that you can roll it into a little bag, which I thought was genius. So I love this style of pullover. As you can see today, I thought it was appropriate to wear. This is the Wardrobe by Me Patterns half zip sweatshirt. So you can see just a zip like this, a lovely big collar. It's got the elastic at the cuffs and also at the waist. And I just love wearing this. I find it so comfortable and so easy to wear. And I also have this one, which is the Roscoe sweater from French Navy. And again, it has a little half zip here. And then this is slightly different in that there's elastic in the cuffs and in the waistband, not just used with ribbing. So this one is kind of more like the Pogonip in the way they do it. So just thought that was interesting to show you these two. So I am a massive fan of this style. So I think another one of these in my wardrobe is going to be just perfect. And while I was researching the Pogonip, I've learned this morning that the Pogonip is actually a weather phenomenon. It is basically freezing fog that happens in some parts of the US, and it's freezing fog with bits of ice and stuff, so I can totally see why this pullover is appropriate for that kind of weather. And today in Dublin it is cold. So I'm more than happy to wrap myself up in my fabric and get cracking on the brilliant Pogonip pullover, which I'm sure will get a huge amount of use now that we're coming into our coldest months really here in Dublin, realistically. So without further ado, I will let you know what fabric I'm going to do it in. And this is very appropriate because this morning, despite the cold, we took our young boys to the zoo and we saw zebras, and this is my fabric. So I couldn't decide what fabric to do the Pogonip in. So you can do it in all kinds of things. You can do it in wovens, you can do it in knits, you can do it in pre-quilted fabric, or you can quilt your own, you can do it in denim, you can do it in canvas, and you can do it in whatever you like. But I had a quick look and I'm going through a bit of an animal print thing at the minute, as you can see with this one. And I just saw this on the Love Fabric Ireland website and I was just so taken by it. I think it is the funkiest fabric. I don't have anything like this in my wardrobe at all. It's a beautiful polar fleece, but I was just so taken when I saw it and I thought, yeah, that'll make a really, really cool Pogonip. So the thing about the Pogonip is it seems to take very little fabric. So ordinarily for a sweatshirt or pullover, I'd kind of bank on at least 1.5 meters. But there was only 1.25 meters left of this fabric in the shop, and I think I'm going to be able to squeeze it out of that. So it is 150 wide, but I think with some clever pattern piecing I think I can get out of this, which is pretty cool. And then for the pockets, I've got remnants, little scraps of a cotton jersey here, so hopefully I can use those. And then I think for maybe the back of the pocket, I'll use maybe more sturdy fabric like a cotton or something, just to give it a bit more stability. So I definitely am going to the pocket of the back. I think being able to fold your jumper into a little pocket, a little bag, is just genius. So this is my fabric and I'm just so excited to get cracking on this. So sizing wise, I think I'll be making a medium according to my measurements. I laid out my pattern pieces actually against the Roscoe sweatshirt, and the pattern pieces seem to match up pretty well. On the inspiration that's just fallen over. On the envelope, it does show it looking very, very cropped, and in the pink version I think the model is 5'7", and in the more coloured version the model is 5'10". I'm 5'9", and I measure the pattern pieces, and I don't think it's going to come up that cropped on me. We shall see. I will of course add my usual inch to the sleeves because I do like having long sleeves. And then I don't think I'll really make any other alterations. I am going to make a toile, which is very, very unlike me, but I do have some fabric here that I managed to source, and I think I will make a little quick toile. I won't do the bag at the back, but I think I will do the welt pockets. So I've been practicing my welt pockets. The instructions are really, really great, as Friday Pattern Company instructions always are. Even when I looked at, because I did the PDF patterns, there's a link that you can click which brings you to a phone-friendly version of the instructions, which I thought was genius. It's so easy then to look at on your phone. And they also have a sew-along, which is brilliant. So I had a look at the sew-along for the welt pockets, and I had 2 attempts. And boy, am I glad I trialed these. This was my first attempt in just scrap fabric I had lying around the place, and let's just say it did not go well. I managed to slice through my welt pocket, so this one did not go well. It's not even really recognisable as a welt pocket, is it? My second version, I had a little bit more success, and this looks a little bit more like a welt pocket. So you can see the pocket here, here's the pocket bag. What I wanted to do was replicate doing it in fleece with a cotton jersey lining, which I think worked out pretty well. So yeah, this is my second attempt, which is passable as a welt pocket, but I would like to make a few more attempts before I cut out my beautiful zebra fabric. So I was really glad I trialed those. So I think with those techniques, I think you're so much better off trying it on just a scrap of fabric. So I didn't cut out the whole of the lower front panel, just this tiny scrap, just to practice this little technique. And yes, I'm very, very glad I did. So that's my view on the sizing and how I'll attempt it. So I'm going to try the toile, hopefully which will be a wearable toile, and then I'll try it in my actual real zebra fabric. And yeah, so I will be back momentarily for you, in a few days for me, and hopefully with my big reveal of my Pogonip pullover. Hi everyone, and I'm back, and this is my Pogonip toile. So I found this really, really cute fabric in Pennies, Primark, depending where you are in the world, and it is a throw, and it was €7, and it was 120 by 150, and I just managed to squeeze it out of that amount of fabric, so I thought it was a great bargain, and this is it. So this is where it comes down to, and I'm just so delighted with this. It's perfect now as pajamas, it really is. It's such a fun little pattern and such a fun print. So I'll walk you through what I did from my toile. So I'm very, very happy I did a toile. It really kind of, it taught me the techniques, taught me the pattern. It was really great, and I got to practice the welt pocket again. So I didn't do any interfacing in the placket or the collar or anything. I kept things very, very easy, very light for the lovely toile. This fabric was an absolute nightmare to work with. I'm not going to lie, it fluffed everywhere. I'll pop in a picture here of me attempting to sew it. I had to overlock all the edges, but despite that, all the notches lined up, everything lined up perfectly. But yeah, it's really, really fun. So I only did 1 welt pocket. I thought that was more than enough on this fabric. I made a size medium. I didn't add anything to the length, and I was glad I didn't, because I love that kind of boxy shape. I added an inch to the sleeves, and I realised that I needed to add another about ½ an inch. So it was great to be able to do the toile anyway. So yeah, I squeezed this out of the amount of fabric that I bought. There was just crumbs left over, so it was an excellent use of all the fabric. And I just used jersey scraps as the pocket lining, which is great. Another great way to use up a few little scraps you have lying around the place. This is non-directional, so it's great. I was able to do the pattern placement. I think I put the sleeves upside down and stuff, which is great, so you can make real use of the small bit of fabric you have. And this takes so little fabric. It's so great. And even less, of course, if you are going to colour block it as well. Yeah, as I said, I only did 1 welt pocket, but now that's 3 welt pockets I've done before I did my real version, which I think really, really helped. I used the sew along for the welt pockets. I didn't use it for the whole pattern. I think the instructions that they give you are more than enough. They're really, really good. All the notches lined up, everything lined up perfectly, even putting in the placket, stitching and the ditching. I think this kind of fleece hides a multitude, which is great. But yeah, it's just a really, really well drafted pattern. I really, really enjoyed it. It does have quite narrow cuffs and waistband, but I think that's part of the style. I only had 1/2 inch elastic just to trial this, but in the 1 inch elastic in the real version looks really good. It looks nice and sturdy. You could of course use ribbing for this, but I think it's nice using elastic because it means then you can use a woven fabric for your Pogonip, and then you can just use elastic in the cuffs. You can use your woven fabric throughout the whole pattern, which is a really, really great idea. I used the snaps here, which went in perfectly. I have the Prim Vario pliers, which are just brilliant, but in snaps there's never any issue. And the placement of those is absolutely perfect. And the other thing that matched up was the elastic for the cuffs and for the waist. I measured the elastic I'd need and it matched perfectly to the pattern for my size medium. So again, another win, and it went in very, very nicely. So yes, delighted with my toile. I think it's really, really great and really fun fabric. The only thing I didn't do was put the lining in the front panel here, but more on that later. So I really, really enjoyed it. Myself and Sarah were having a few texts throughout our making process to kind of see how each other were getting on, which was lovely. And that whole kind of spirit of collaboration, it was absolutely brilliant. And then we had a little Zoom call and we did our reveal to each other, which was the most fun. So I'll pop in that video now for you very, very shortly. But it was so nice chatting to Sarah. It's such a shame that Zoom caps you at 40 minutes. We could have chatted for an awful lot longer. It was lovely seeing her in her kind of vlogging position, but being able to chat to her properly, almost in real life. It was really great, and it was just so much fun doing this collaboration with Sarah. She's just brilliant. So I will pop in that little reveal video and I'll meet you again on the other side. I'm going to go this way and strip off. 3, 2, 1, go! I love it!
We've both gone animal print. Very cool.
I love it. Stand up and give me a twirl. I love it.
Pocket.
Oh, and the different colour on the pockets.
Oh,
it looks fabulous.
Oh
my God, it looks
too.
so
it's
good.
yours fleece.
That's right. Fleece. Yep.
Fabulous.
Yeah, and got the pockets. Yeah, absolutely love it. That's too funny. You both went to the animal. I love it. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was so much fun doing it. I think our expressions say it all. It was just so much fun. And we were definitely on the same wavelength because when we joined the Zoom call, we were just in other clothes and we were both wearing cable knits. So I had a white one, she had a green one. So I think we're both very, very much on the same wavelength when it comes to fabric and passion. So that's why this collaboration was just perfect. So now that you've seen it on the video, I shall show you it here in real life. And here it is, because of course I did the back pocket. So here's what it looks like all folded up. And so you can tie that into a backpack or a bag, wherever you're off to. I lined it in flamingos, obviously. And this is my finished Pogonip. So you flap this out here. It's got the little loop here in the button. And here is my Pogonip in all its glory. And I just love it. And this fabric is just fabulous. So here it is. Here is my zebra Pogonip, and I will chat you through it now. I'll throw it on and chat you all through the details. The only thing I want to show you here is my beautiful label, which says the bee's knees, which I got in the Beyond the Pink Door advent calendar, which I think looks perfect on this fabric. And so I shall throw this on for you now and talk you through the details. I'm back again. I feel like I'm doing the hokey cokey in this video. Apologies. So here is my finished Pogonip, and I love it. So if I step back and give you a little bit of a view of it. So I will pop in a little video I took of me doing a little twirl. Apologies, I didn't realize my slippers were in that video, my glamorous slippers, but I absolutely love this jumper. So I'll go through the details now of my real version. So this fabric is gorgeous polar fleece from Love Fabric Ireland. So I'll link all their details below. Fabulous shop. I bought a good few things from their website now. They have a whole range of stuff. It's a great, great site. And I got this out of about, I think it was 1.25, 1.3 meters. And that was including the back panel for the pocket and everything. So it's so economical in fabric, this pattern. It's fabulous. So the fabric is lovely. It's really stable. It doesn't hold a press, but even when you're turning under for the collar, it just behaved itself really, really well. So it was just lovely to work with. And again, fleece, very forgiving when you're doing stitching in the ditch, stitch in the ditch. So yeah, just beautiful to work with. And I used my friction pen on this as well, and that came out really easily with the iron afterwards. There was a moment of panic, but it came out perfectly. So I was able to mark things like the snap placement and stuff, and it was absolutely fine. I put in 2 welt pockets, so here we go. And they went in much nicer this time because of the interfacing in the actual pocket side, which made it much easier to put them in. And they came out pretty well. They're just in white jersey on the inside. They're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Let's call them more kind of sisters rather than twins, but they're perfectly functional and they look great and they're super cozy. I just love them. I did put in the back pocket, which is a bit of fun, so you'll have seen how that all rolls up. I'll put in a video here of me showing you how it all rolls up. The instructions on these, I found them a little bit complicated because at one stage you have to attach kind of right side to wrong side and it just looks really wrong. And I didn't quite know how to figure it out and I couldn't figure out how to fold it up to make it look right at the end. And I tried to look at the sew along, but the sew along, they've got a fabric that's the same on both sides, which again makes it really difficult to see. So I think I got there in the end, poured over the instructions, everything. So in the end you have to kind of fold it over twice and eventually it writes itself, but that was the only bit I found confusing. And I put a little, I have little tiny hair bubbles as a little piece of elastic and then a tiny button as well to attach to the back so it doesn't flap open. So I don't know, can you see the back pocket there? So yeah, oh, I haven't even tied it. But yeah, I just think that's a really cute feature and I really enjoyed doing it. And of course lined with flamingos because why not? So the collar, the placket, the sleeves, everything all went in absolutely fine. I added 1.5 inches to the sleeves and I think that fit is great. I didn't add anything to the length and I think it comes up quite well. So it has got that nice kind of boxy thing. The only mistake I made, and I didn't realise I'd made it until I was finished this real version. So I was making the lower panel, so where you've got the welt pockets and the pockets are inside here. So I was thinking to myself, why don't they tell you to finish the pocket seams on the outside? It looks really messy. So, and this was literally on my main version and I couldn't figure out why they'd leave those raw on the inside. And it was purely that I was on Instagram looking at other people's Pogonips. So there was one girl and she was putting in the lining. So I went back and I was like, I don't remember anything about a lining. I had completely bypassed that bit of the instructions and completely ignored the fact that you need to cut a front panel in the lining as well. So of course that's all meant to be enclosed. Anyway, so I'd totally forgotten it on my toile and then forgotten it here because I didn't realise it was there, but I don't think it really makes a bit of a difference because it would just make it a little bit more bulky here and sure, nobody's going to be flapping that up to have a look at my pockets, I hope. But yes, so no, I'm so pleased with this make. I really am. I loved all the making of it and the instructions and the construction, and I loved having Sarah there as a little kind of a collaborator on the side. So a huge thank you to Sarah for reaching out to do a collaboration. I just had so much fun doing it, and her version is fabulous. So it was really funny the way we both did animal print, and her colour blocked version is beautiful, and she showed me 2 other versions she's made, both absolutely gorgeous. So I think, yeah, there's definitely more Pogonips in my future. And if you would, actually on that note, if you would like to make your own Pogonip, the lovely Christine from Gemini Stitcher, I'll link all her details below, she's arranging a Pogonip party. So she's getting some vloggers involved, and this is all for the 29th of February, so celebrating leap year. So everybody can make a Pogonip and then reveal it on the 29th of February, which sounds like great fun. So I'll pop in a little picture of it here. And if I do manage to get another Pogonip done, I will definitely be doing my reveal on the 29th of February. So check out her channel for all the details on that. I think a Pogonip party sounds like a fabulous idea. So yes, as I said, love Fabric Ireland for the fabric. Then I got the snaps and the elastic from Quilt Yarn Stitch. They have a fabulous range of haberdashery. Again, I'll link their shop below. I get an awful lot of stuff from their site. I would encourage you to make a Pogonip, to get involved, and I would also encourage any of you to start a collaboration of your own. You don't necessarily have to be on YouTube to start a collaboration. You could just reach out to somebody on Instagram. It's a really great way to get to know somebody, to kind of have chats aside from just chit chat on Instagram. It's a lovely way, you know, if you see somebody who has a plan to make the same project that you're interested in, just to reach out and say, would you like to join forces? Because sometimes sewing can be a little bit isolating, just you in your sewing room and your sewing machine, and to have somebody there on hand to share the trials and tribulations and toils and turbulations, I think is a really lovely idea. So a huge thank you to Sarah again, and her version is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So our videos are hopefully coming out together, but just after it goes live, I'll hopefully link Sarah's in my description box anyway, so you can hop on there and definitely have a look at her videos. And if you haven't watched any of her other videos, I really would encourage you to look at what she's put up. She has a fabulous channel. It's just great, and I would highly recommend it. So thank you so much for joining me in this collaboration video, and I really hope you give a Pogonip a try yourself, and please let me know in the description box if you've made one or if you're planning to make one. If you have any questions on this that I haven't covered, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. As always, you can leave me a comment, just let me know what you're working on in general and how you're getting on. And I would also love it if you enjoyed this video to give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. I would absolutely love that. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all getting time for some lovely sewing, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Take care.